Hello, everyone, and welcome to Why Wasn't It Better? I am your host, Patrick Darms.
And I'm your co-host, Anton Paras.
With Wake Up Dead Man, Ryan Johnson brings Benoit Blanc back for a third case, this time promising something darker, heavier, and more serious than Glass Onion. The title alone suggests a tonal shift, less beach satire, more moral rot. But after one film that felt like a modern classic and another that leaned hard into caricature, the big question isn't whether Johnson can construct a clever mystery, it's whether this series can recapture its bite without disappearing up its own cleverness. Is Wake Up Dead Man a course correction, a reinvention, or just another stylish puzzle box? And here to help us solve the mystery is a return guest, Peter Baldeo. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hey,
Thank you. I appreciate the invite, gentlemen.
You are quite welcome. A little holiday recording. This is a day before Christmas, basically. We hope everyone is having
there's only one day before Christmas. How is it a
basically?
Well, it's the day before Christmas Eve.
Yeah, but day before Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve, if you will.
It's the holiday recording.
Which, of course, means absolutely nothing to anyone listening to this podcast. This is probably going to come out about a week from now. And if you're listening to it the day after its release or any day thereafter, it's even less meaningful to you. But we just like to include these details just because we can.
Yeah,
exactly. Because we can.
Because that's called behind the scenes, and fans care about behind the scenes.
BTS, man. BTS is the life.
Some do. I mean, we have had more than one listener ask us, Anton, like, how far in advance do you record these episodes? Because, there is a noticeable lack of any current events that we reference just because of that reason. If we talk about something topical, it's probably out of date by the time the episode comes out. This one's a little different because this will be out in about a week, but it doesn't matter either way. The only thing that matters is that we're talking about a relatively new movie. This came out on Netflix just basically a week or two ago. It was released in theaters about a month ago, briefly, as Netflix does with this. But when it comes to the holidays, we hope everyone is having a healthy and happy holiday, regardless of what you celebrate.
That's right.
I'm not traveling for the holidays, thankfully. That's a holiday for me enough. That is my Christmas present, not having to go anywhere.
That's a gift in itself right there. Yeah.
It is.
You know who is traveling? Santa.
Yeah,
Santa will be traveling.
All over the world.
Santa has to stop in California, Charlotte, and Pennsylvania this year. He does.
Exactly.
Bringing us good tidings and all that stuff.
Burglary and trespassing.
My daughter is not yet old enough to ask us what will Santa do because we don't have a chimney. So I'm just dreading that question because I'm not going to have a good answer.
Yeah, you got to come up with an alternate story ASAP. Parks in the driveway, baby.
I was trying to think of what films have approached that, like Santa can go through different physical forms to get through like an air vent if he needs to.
That gets creepy though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
of course.
I feel like that's
the whole.
That changes the genre, doesn't it?
Let's be real. The whole concept is very invasive. Okay,
it is.
Yeah, listen, you're not wrong. I'm going to tell you that. My ADT guy's not going to be happy with some strange man coming in with boxes to my house.
Through the vents? No.
Definitely
not at all.
Okay.
Well, Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out. Now, Peter, I'll intro this real quick for us. It was released on officially November 26th of this year, 2025, by Netflix. Written and directed by Ryan Johnson. It stars Daniel Craig, Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Andrew Scott's bad American accent, Kerry Washington, Kaylee Spaney, Daryl McCormick, and Thomas Hayden Church. The budget, the only thing I could find was $200 million, so put a asterisk on that. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I don't know.
200? No,
yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of well-known actors in here for sure that I guess they had to pay, but the box office doesn't really exist because it was barely given a theater release. It has a 92% Rotten Tomatoes score. Peter, as the guest, we were going to have you on a little bit earlier this year when we covered Glass Onion. We had scheduling conflicts. We weren't able to make it work. So this is a makeup episode for you. But why were you excited to talk about Wake Up Dead Man?
I think the entire series has been something so unique, and every movie that I've seen in the series has been so different. So when you gave me the opportunity to talk about a new movie that was coming on Netflix, it was a home run for me. And honestly, anything with Daniel Craig, I'm going to watch.
It's a good reason. So you say it's unique. I know what you mean, because the concept of this detective whodunit thing is not unique.
Mm-mm.
But I agree with you that Rian Johnson has given it a unique spin, and this feels fresh. It really does.
It does. It does. And every movie that I've watched that he's made has been entertaining. Even though he follows the simple recipe of whodunit, it's a different path to get to that whodunit every time, and it's not a serious one. It's not there's a different way to get there, and that's what I enjoy. I do. It's not like repeating the same formula over and over. It's common elements, but different delivery.
He's, of course, heavily influenced by a lot of literary mysteries, particularly Agatha Christie and all of her writing, and a couple other things like Clue. The first Knives Out, it came out in 2019. It was an unexpected hit. Wow. It grossed more than $300 million on a $40 million budget. Anton, it really did kind of revive this private detective murder mystery genre. Now, obviously, this has been something that has been around in the movie industry for literally as long as the movie industry has been around. But it kind of fell out of favor. You didn't see a lot of it in the 2000s and the 2010s. Now, Kenneth Branagh is doing his own thing with, the Hercule Poirot, some of the Agatha Christie adaptations that he's doing. I'm a huge fan of these as well. We'd already talked a little bit about this when we covered Glass Onion, but I could watch 20 of these.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
They're a lot of fun. There's a timeless quality to them where this could have come out 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 20 years in the future. It doesn't matter. It's great. I think these movies for the most part are going to age very well, with some exceptions to them. Netflix really paid Rian Johnson a lot to make these. They picked up, the sequels after the first one came out. So this second sequel means that the Netflix deal is up. It's done. So we'll see if this continues. There was no way we weren't going to cover this.
Yeah, I hope it does. I feel like they would, man.
I have mixed thoughts on this, because there's a lot of controversy about these only really being Netflix films and how they deserve a wider theater release. There's something we can talk about a little bit. But
like that.
Anton, we had a lot of fun talking about Glass Onion. We wish Pete was there, but he wasn't. But he's here now. You were excited for this as well, right, Anton?
Of course. Who wouldn't be?
I don't want to know that person who wasn't excited for this.
There we go.
I don't.
All right, that wraps that one up.
One of the things that's cool about these films, too, is that I'm sure there are people who don't like them, but you can kind of watch these with anybody. You can watch them with kids. You can watch them with, my parents wanted to see this. My parents are, older. And that's pretty rare for a film these days, where you can just kind of watch it with everybody and everybody's interested in it. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, especially when with those varying age ranges, it's also around this. It's just a very fun concept that I think really is a draw for any age range. But it's funny. There's always murder involved, and but a big mystery. I think everyone loves a surprise. Everyone loves the magic of the reveal.
Yeah, there's something pretty universal about a murder mystery, and you're right, Anton. It does involve murder, but I would say pretty tame in this. It's not like it's not like we're watching Seven,
right?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
It's just people getting stabbed.
Yeah, it's fair. They're PG-13 clean deaths, I guess is the best way to put it. Right? We're not documenting the 7 deadly sins all.
And this is, of course, technically a sequel to Glass Onion, but it's really not. Kind of like the Indiana Jones series. This is just it's a continuation of Benoit Blanc, right? It's not a sequel. It's not a continuation of the story that was in that film.
If there were no hints to the other films, I like to think that you could actually put the timeline within any part of the timeline between the films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One question: Why was Daniel Craig so aged? He looks weathered. Yeah, he looked weathered in this movie. And I didn't know if that was intentional, because both movies you can see some change, but in this movie it felt like they make it very deliberate for you to know that it's been some time and he's weathered. He's he's coming back like Philip Rivers, to be honest. That's what it looks like.
Well, I want to think that maybe Benoit Blanc just had a massive case, and at the same time also just had a massive party in New Orleans, and now he's coming up on this case. So he's been a bit weathered. He parties hard, but he works hard.
That's fair.
He does look like someone who likes to party.
He's definitely had a few.
Yeah. Well, also, they reference early in this film a case that he worked on where he ended up having to go on The View Did you guys pick
Yep.
that up?
That was funny. That was great.
Oh, I really wish we had gotten to see that.
Those are the fun little gems that just build
Yeah.
out this universe.
But I also was thinking about that too, Pete. I'm like, how much time takes place between Glass Onion and this? Now, it couldn't be that much because he has the iPad that Miles gives him in Glass Onion that he uses in this film. That's a pretty cool Easter egg.
I didn't even catch that. I did not even catch that.
Yeah. I mean, I assume it's the same iPad. It's just, it's probably
you're probably
kind
right.
of a, yeah.
Like same universe, same director. He likes to hide things. Probability says you're right.
But regardless, before we get to the very brief production history of this, Anton, we do have a connection to Warren Beatty's sex life.
As we should.
Peter, this is a new segment on the podcast where I purport that all films can be connected by the 6 degrees of Warren Beatty's sex life.
Okay. All right.
Now, this one is pretty straightforward. Daniel Craig is connected to Kate Hudson, who is connected to Goldie Hawn, who, of course, dated Warren Beatty. Craig and Kate Hudson, of course, were both in Glass Onion together. Goldie Hawn is Kate Hudson's mother, and she dated Warren Beatty in the 70s.
Tracks, man. It tracks. It does. And like, I Googled it in the back, and I was like, okay, I see this.
Did either of you guys catch the Kate Hudson like sitcom on Netflix that just dropped the past couple of years? It's basically she's the Jeannie Buss of the Lakers.
You told me about it.
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's called Breaking the Waves. It's just feel good popcorn TV. Yeah. No real depth.
Does it also reference Jeannie Buss's like wilder side, shall we say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wilder side.
I don't know. I'm trying to be polite.
No, it's super. It's funny because they definitely changed the name of the team, and some characters are composite characters of real life people, but it's all basically like the Jeannie Buss.
Is there a Phil Jackson
story.
in it?
There is a Phil Jackson in it.
That's funny.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
Okay.
It's funny. It's like it's not like it's not prestige television, but
it's all right. It doesn't have to be.
Good. Dude, I will watch anything, man. Again, I always go back to this. I will watch terrible horror movies just to see how bad they are.
We haven't had you on for a horror movie yet, have we, Pete?
I don't think so.
Unless you want to count Hannibal, which I don't think you should.
It's not a
It was terrifying.
It was
considering how bad it was, but
was it genre horror? No, but it did create horror in me.
I don't know if you vaguely remember. We talked about that on the episode. We couldn't figure out if it was a horror movie or not.
I didn't know what it wanted to be. It wanted to be 7, but also not 7.
It's sort of goofy.
We covered we've covered an erotic thriller in the past. I wonder, is there erotic horror? Is that a film category?
Erotic horror?
I mean, isn't Fatal Attraction a horror movie? It is.
I mean, yeah, that's true. So, okay, if we can find another erotic horror film, maybe Pete, that would be fun to have you on.
Why do I have to be in the erotic horror one? Just give me like
that sounds hilarious.
Wait,
Pete,
like have you ever heard of a movie called Sliver?
Sliver? No, but it's
Anton knows.
Let me make sure.
Right? Anton knows this movie, right?
Oh yes.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I don't know if we should cover that on the pod. That's a weird movie.
I think that'd be really fun. Sharon Stone. Oh my gosh.
It is a weird movie.
It is an erotic film.
It's like that movie Rubber where they made the entire movie with the tire, which I actually enjoyed.
What about Bram Stoker's Dracula? Does
or Dracula
Anton have
2000?
An opinion on that or no?
Ooh, Dracula 2000. What about the new Frankenstein?
Nothing erotic about that.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
Did you see it, Pete?
Not yet. That's why I was asking.
I'm not a fan.
All right. Put it this way. No matter what you guys pick, I'm gonna watch it and be here no matter what. So
I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun if you were on enough erotic film episodes that you're the erotic film guy.
I was just gonna say, I was like, welcoming back the erotic horror expert Peter Baldeo. Wow, what branding!
Moran has been on a couple Christmas episodes, and I've signed him up for whenever we want to recover Eyes Wide Shut because he's never seen it.
So I haven't seen it either.
Oh,
I know you told me to watch it.
It's a trip.
Wait,
that is a trip.
You guys do Jingle All the Way?
We did, yeah.
We did, yeah.
You did, right? Okay, I remember this, and I was like, bro, that was like, I am Turbo Man.
Yeah, Schwarzenegger films are fun to cover. We got to do one. Man. I think we're gonna do one next year.
Yeah, Sinbad films, hit or miss.
Not many. But getting back to Wake Up Dead Man, The production history for this, Anton, would you like to read this?
Sure.
Cool.
So the third Knives Out film is the second part of the deal that Rian Johnson and Daniel Craig signed with Netflix. For this film, Johnson said his key influences were works of Edgar Allan Poe and John Dixon Carr, as well as elements of works of Agatha Christie, especially her novel, And Then There Were None. He also drew from his own religious upbringing in evangelicalism, with Blanc reflecting his own mixed feelings on organized religion. However, he chose to have the film focus on Catholicism for aesthetic reasons, admitting the churches he grew up in more closely resemble pottery barns. One of the key scenes in the film was influenced by Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula. By January 2023, he was writing the third film. He later stated that he had approved the subtitle of A Knives Out Mystery for the previous installment. He would like to rename the series and add a Benoit Blanc mystery as subtitles to future installments. Isn't that going to be a mouthful? The film's title, Wake Up Dead Man, comes from a phrase in the folk song, Ain't No More Cain on the Brazos, though Johnson notes that it also, quote, kind of derived from the title of the song of the same name by U2. After casting was set, principal photography began in London in June 2024. Church exteriors set in New York State were shot at the Church of the Holy Innocents, High Beach, Epping Forest, 11 miles from the center of London. Additional shooting was done in Cold Spring, New York, which served as a setting of Chimney Rock in the film.
This initially confused me because Chimney Rock is a pretty well-known mountain town in North Carolina, but alas, no relation.
That was also the Battle of Chimney Rock, was in North Carolina.
Yes, but alas, no relation.
Filming concluded in August 2024, and as is typical for Netflix films, it was briefly given a theatrical release on November 26 before hitting the streaming service on December 12th. Now is our production history for Wake Up Dead Man. And that brings us to our meat of the episode, why wasn't it better? And this brings us to our first number one reason. Pat, what is our number one reason for why wasn't Wake Up Dead Man better?
The mystery. This is a murder mystery. It's the most important thing about these films, arguably. What do we think of the mystery in this compared to the first two?
It's to me it's unique in that it's a couple different mysteries, right? It's the mystery of who actually, killed Josh Brolin's character,
Monsignor Wicks,
Father Wicks, and then who or what was the actual who was behind the whole conspiracy of his, how do we say, fake resurrection, or was it real?
Well, there's the thing about his grandfather's inheritance.
Oh right, yeah, that whole thing,
which is another person named Wicks, who was, I guess, the founder of that church. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I got from it.
So Wicks, who is a Monsignor, he is a very divisive leader of this small branch of the Catholic Church in this upstate New York town. And by small church, we mean, how many members would you say there are? And we know the flock is less than 10. It's how many people actually show up for Sunday service? It's
what is that?
20,
25.
Yeah, maybe. So he gets found dead during the Good Friday service in a tiny closet in front of witnesses, but not really. And it looks like what is called a locked room murder, right? Where there's just, everyone is baffled by this. No one was seen entering or leaving the closet. No one's really sure how he could have been murdered. The prime suspect is the assistant pastor of the church, whose name is Father Judd Duplanticity, played by Josh O'Connor. He has a violent past. He doesn't really get along with Wicks. He is not well liked by the other members of the congregation, but there's no real evidence. And as the local sheriff, played by Mila Kunis, points out, there's really no way that you could have done this, but you're the prime suspect regardless. That's our mystery. Or at least that's the
slim. Yeah, that's
what gets set up.
Yeah.
Right.
Strange investigation, by the way.
Definitely a different setup from the previous two films. And of course, the second film was quite different from the first, right?
Yeah. Because the second one, they were trying to kill Edward Norton for his money, right?
Well, that's what we thought.
Yeah.
Sort of. We thought that's what was going to happen.
Right. But that was the hook, right?
Yes. And then it turns into something else halfway through. This one also has a bit of a plot twist, I guess more than halfway through, sort of. The mystery that gets revealed to us, essentially we have three collaborators who are responsible for this murder.
Mm-hmm.
Martha, played by Glenn Close, Dr. Nat Sharp, played by Jeremy Renner, and then the groundskeeper Samson, played by Thomas Hayden Church. They
Samson.
conspire together, right?
I don't know. I think Samson's best boy to me.
He's involved.
He's involved, but I don't think he conspired.
No, the two primary conspirators here
unknowingly
are
conspiring with
Martha and the doctor. And of course, they poison Wicks by slipping a toxin into his flask that he keeps hidden in the closet. And then Dr. Nat stabbed him with a specially prepared like devil's head knife to make it look like a mysterious homicide that no one could explain. And then there's this resurrection piece to it. Oh, by the way, spoilers in case anyone. I assume all of our listeners know we're going to spoil any movie. That's why I don't usually give spoiler alerts. And also I don't care. Right? Yeah, I don't care. If you're listening to our podcast at this point, you know we're going to spoil the movie to you.
But I mean, if you're talking about why wasn't it better, you have to assume that you should watch the movie before we're going to discuss.
Yeah, it makes no sense to add spoiler warnings for a podcast,
and that's why I usually don't.
We established this episode 1.
We did. We did.
All right,
you can go back and look it up. What do you guys think of this mystery? Did you like it? Did you like this murder mystery?
I enjoyed it. Personally, I enjoyed it. Not as big as the second one.
Yeah.
Because the stakes feel very grounded to just the town, to be fair. Versus the first one, there was like millions in the balance.
Yeah.
Here,
it felt bigger.
Yeah. Here, not so much. But still, the mystery itself, it's like, it's compelling for me. What about you, Pat?
I found it to be the least compelling of the three.
Yeah.
I mean, how do I say this without sounding negative? I didn't care that much about Wicks getting killed. I was, of course, interested in the movie just because I like these movies and I like these actors and I like the dialogue. I knew that it wasn't going to be Josh O'Connor's character. And then something I guess I can bring this up now, unless, Anton, let me know. It's the Glenn Close thing. Should I mention this now or save it for later?
I'd say continue with this current trend. We'll talk about Glenn Close later.
Okay.
Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
One of the issues here, Pete, which I'll briefly touch on and elaborate on later, is I guessed it immediately what happened, which I ultimately found disappointing.
Same. I did too. I called it when we were watching the movie, and I said that to my wife, and I was like, this is what happens.
Yeah. And I didn't have that same experience in the first two, particularly the second one, which I think a lot of people like myself were fooled because you're like, well, obviously someone's going to kill Edward Norton's character, even though he invites everyone there to solve his fake murder for this game. But then it subverts your expectations by doing something completely different. But with this, when Josh Brolin's character gets killed based on the casting, I knew who was involved immediately, which I did find to be a little bit of a letdown. Now, the whole thing about his grandfather's inheritance and then the fake resurrection piece, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did. I like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that while it may not follow the same track in terms of this is not the death of the character is not what draws me in, or like at least I also don't care as much that Father Wicks ends up dying in the film. Sorry, Monsignor Wicks. But I think that's actually a subversion of the first two films, because the death that actually occurs in the first two is really compelling. You really feel for the characters that are impacted by the death. Versus in this film, you're almost rooting for like his demise because you just know he's a terrible person. And I think that subversion just ties very neatly with the general themes of the film. And now I know when it comes to the actual mystery, it was a bit easier to assume who it was going to be. It was the lady that really can't really can't identify that those aren't spaceships on the monument. It's
right. I mean, that's the problem, which I guess we kind of have to talk about it now then. By casting Glenn Close in this movie and making her crazy, making her character batshit crazy from the very second you meet her, you know it's her. So it's there was no mystery involved for me to hang for the rest of the movie. I'm like, oh, I wonder who did it.
Yeah.
I found that disappointing. I think although I like her performance quite a bit because I think she's a great actor, it's kind of a miscast for me, because when you cast Glenn Close and you make her character that crazy, you're not giving the audience much in the way of mystery. The other piece to it, and then I'll shut up after a second here. The other piece to it, Jeremy Renner, who was the other collaborator, right? The doctor. when he gets revealed as the co-conspirator at the end, he's already dead, which is anticlimactic. You don't get to see any type of like confrontation with him. He's just a skeleton in this bathtub in a basement.
It's funny you say that because as soon as they showed that shot of her and like it's Glenn Close, right? As soon as they showed that shot of Glenn Close, I said immediately to Ashley, I was like, this is the biggest lady in the film, right? Like she's the killer. It was her. Now, here's another question. Do you think that if they would have cast a different person in that role, you would have been able to figure it out so quickly? I guess the question is, do you think it was the miscast or the character?
So I think it's fair to have both because it was also written in such a way that even if you want to assume, like, even if it's like the context clues are like, oh, Glenn Close is crazy. She's been a crazy killer in the past. I wouldn't be shocked.
Right.
The character is also
Fair.
written in a way that, like, oh, she's nuts, but she also has strong ties historically to the church.
Yeah,
Maybe she's probably a prime suspect.
she's the motive.
So yeah, and I think those context clues are probably on the nose. Like, there's no way that Rian Johnson didn't look at the casting, didn't speak with like casting crew and say, hey, like let's not include her because I know that she's been a crazy killer in previous films. I don't want to give it away. That I think it has to be on purpose. And if it is on purpose, then it's like, well, why would we want to reveal who the killer is so early? If not for the point isn't just like to have the mystery. And like there is a whole generation of people that are watching this, by the way, on Netflix that have no idea who Glenn Close is. But
True.
but there is also the big part of the Knives Out series is the reveal. And I feel like even if you want to have a strong inclination of who the killer is, the reveal itself is still very meaty.
It is. How do we feel about the Jeremy Renner piece, like I was talking about, where he gets revealed and he's already dead?
He's such a dummy. He's a dummy and he's a waste of a character.
Yeah, I wanted to see where the character was going. I understand, okay, his wife left him, he moved on here, but I agree with you, Pat. There was no, you got me, the entire world falls down, and now I lose my mind, and I'm going to become a super secret agent called Jason Bourne that no one knows about. Right? There was none of that. It was just, he was dead. that was it. He was just gone.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Glenn Close's character, by the way, she makes the decision to kill Wicks after they have that. He has that meeting with the flock, and he tells them, "I'm going to expose all of you."
Yes,
and I'm going to leave the church. Right? She doesn't intend to do this before that, right?
I don't think so.
Because it was after after she told him, and then he had the speech, and then she was like, "Ooh, I fucked up."
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, then I think there's another possible weakness with this mystery, which is if that was so, he's going to expose all of them as frauds in various levels, right? In his own mind, at least that's what he intends to do. So everyone else in that room, meaning his flock, has a motive to kill him. But the film never explores that. And that never gets revealed to the sheriff. She suspects Father Judd the entire time. And she's unaware that all these characters have this other motivation, right? So we as the audience know this, but it's never really revealed to like the investigators. Blanc never really picks up on that either, which I found interesting.
Good point. Very, very good point.
Well,
now, go ahead, Anton.
No, I was going to say, like, I think that the inclusion of the supporting cast is used differently, not as like prime suspects for the killing, but I think that you still have them you still are wondering who's involved in the whole conspiracy because there's a whole conspiracy going on. And it's less about which of these people did the killing, but who framed Father Judd. Like, that's the real mystery. It's not who did the killing. It's like who framed Father Judd for the killing, which is how I see it.
So they have that video of the meeting, right, that Daryl McCormick's character takes.
Yeah.
In which if you watch that video and you're Blanc and you're like, wow, all these characters now have a motive to kill Wicks. But he doesn't show that to the sheriff. He just keeps it.
Yeah, good point. Because that's actually a very good point. Because just for the existence of the motive alone and being exposed for what you are, you've created 6 or 7 different suspects. Mila Kunis wasn't a part of the flock, right?
No,
she was just she was just a sheriff that lived in the town that was just doing her job. That's a really good point. It actually, I mean, it kind of feels like Benoit Blanc is the guy's defense attorney, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like,
in a way,
refuses to deliver beyond a reasonable doubt. He's just like, whatever.
Oh, you know what? I think that ties very neatly to Father Judd's statement really early in the film. What is it? Something about the truth and and it's not a lie if you don't admit the lie. right? I might have butchered that, but
Yeah.
I know it's something he says to Blanc, right? It's
Yeah.
like if you choose the
If you
most
omit the lie,
truthful. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know. I'm also butchering.
yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna have to edit that one.
But all those pieces, I think, murder mystery stuff aside, the thematic stuff of this movie for me works really, really well, where it's showing how religion and faith should work, why it can be important. It's so atypical because most Hollywood films are going to give you a pretty nasty takedown of organized religion. This doesn't do that. It's critical of the church in some ways, but it's very supportive of the church in other ways. And it does it in a really clever way. And it was really refreshing to watch.
So I actually wrote that down, Pat, because like when we were talking about the character, when I first saw the trailer of like, wow, they killed someone in a Catholic church in a locked room, like I really want to see that, right? The religion aspect for me is interesting. But I was like, when they started the movie and this guy's going ballistic and he's just angry, and I was like, wow, this is a really like weird movie for Netflix to do. But then they show how Father Judd redeems himself and how religion actually uses to heal, and I was like, I actually came out of the movie a lot more impressed with how they delivered it, because I first went into it like, oh man, they're just going to be bashing it the entire time. Right. And I think there was that movie on Peacock with the Pope, and they redid the Pope. Like every movie that I've ever seen that's commented on organized religion has always framed it in a negative light.
A lot of it does. Yeah. And this could have, and you think it's going to go that way because they very quickly established that Benoit Blanc is an unbeliever and he doesn't think much of organized religion.
Yeah.
He's very open about that to Father Judd. But the film never feels cynical towards the church at all.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. And I respect that. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
It really pushes on, like, coming from someone that, someone that is Catholic, very much touches on a lot of the theology. Plus that whole scene where like the film just totally breaks for the woman that works at the morgue to talk to, or not at the morgue, but
the
funeral
construction
home
company or whatever.
Yeah, to just totally breaks to have Father Judd pray for her.
I love that. I loved it. Like
Best scene in the film.
If there was ever a Catholic moment in a film, that was a very Catholic.
It felt so human, dude. It didn't feel like a movie.
Yeah.
It just felt like growing up, my grandpa was a pastor, right? And like that would happen all the time. And it just felt like that because it felt so natural. And I was like, it does heal. And that for me, like I'm even getting chills like thinking about it now. And that normally is not something that happens. But when I did see that scene, I was like, wow, like I wonder why she's rambling. Like, what are they doing? And he goes, let me help you. And it didn't matter what he was going through in his life. He's like, I got you. And that for me was, I don't know, I appreciated it. I did.
And you can see it affects Blanc.
Yes.
He has his own Damascus.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
But I think at the end, where the film, I think, goes up another level is, I think a lesser film would have had Blanc stay and listen to the sermon, and it would have been a very stereotypical, cliched ending where, now he's seen the light. Maybe he is starting to explore his faith in a way he didn't know before, but he's just like, no, I don't really want to stay and listen. And he walks out, but that's true to the character of Blanc, because if we know anything about Blanc over the past couple of movies, he is not going to be swayed by a single event like that. And he stays the same character that he is relatively at the beginning of the film. Maybe he has developed some newfound respect for the church, but he doesn't end up becoming a believer solely because of his experience with Father Judd, which I felt, like I said, a lesser film wouldn't have done it like that.
Yeah. And in that event with him walking out at the end, viewed in conjunction with that moment at the construction company, tracks perfectly for the character. It does. Yeah. I also don't think you could have ended it with like, now he's a believer, because how do you go into the next movie?
That would make no sense.
Right. No, there's nothing in the film that would have prompted that from him.
Yeah, exactly. He eventually still figured it out.
He did.
Cruella de Vil, man. Can't trust her.
Perfect segue, P, because the actual reveal of this is another, it's kind of a quibble I have with the mystery. It takes 40 minutes, the final reveal.
Oh, gosh.
I timed it.
It was a long time.
Look, it's very emotional. It's incredibly well acted. It just takes too long.
I need justice for my boy Samson. He didn't deserve to go out like that.
Bad way to go. man.
I felt so bad for him, man. And I was like, dude, that's how you go out? Like, that's how you wrote him out?
That's how even Father Judd says it. The only innocent man in this whole congregation.
He's just hanging out, and then boom, he's disemboweled now. He's dead. He got stabbed by
Not
a
a
sickle.
bad person.
Got stabbed by a sickle by
I just
Jeremy
want to
Renner.
listen to baseball.
Sorry, I accidentally murdered your uncle. No, that's not the right movie. I'm sorry. Great movie. We're talking about Spider-Man 3, of course. Classic.
Ugh, that gave me chills.
Gosh, what an atrocity.
Oh, why don't we have me on for that horror movie?
We already covered it.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, it's not erotic horror. That's why.
Yeah,
Right,
no
right.
no
That's not-
eroticism there.
You know that's not your brand. We need you for.
Expertise.
There's a lot of heavy themes in here. But on the other hand, kind of like what you and I were talking about, Anton, on Glass Onion, I do appreciate how they did something different. This is completely different than the first two, which is a good thing for a sequel to do.
Yeah, I think with any series, expectations are going to be hard to meet every single installment. I think, like you mentioned in the intro, it's like, does the snake end up eating its own tail trying to impress people with a mystery? And I feel like here it didn't try to go too heavy on like a puzzle block mystery that people can't solve. It was actually pretty fairly simple. So I think it just really more so tried to deliver a nice film with mystery attached, but it was a bit too long.
Doing the research for this online, I was kind of surprised to discover how many people dislike Glass Onion, particularly on the Knives Out subreddit.
Whoa! Let's remember this, Pat. Like, Redditors are a different breed.
They are. Yeah, I don't get the hate for Glass Onion. I really don't. We really liked it when we reviewed it. I don't think it's the best Knives Out movie. I think the first one is the best film.
Yeah.
But I do find Glass Onion a ton of fun.
I enjoyed it.
There is like a hive mind on Reddit. Part of that hive mind also doesn't really like Edward Norton, so I think that's a bit of it.
I liked him in that movie a lot. He does a great Edward Norton performance.
I do. Do you remember? Like, I always see him as that guy in The Score, like years ago, and then the guy in The Italian Job. That's like how I always just.
It's
picture
good
Edward
that you
Norton.
remember him for those films.
Yeah,
I was
nothing
gonna
actually
say,
else
of
of
all the
significance, but those two.
films.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the best Hulk, that's for sure.
Another horror movie. Listen,
It's
some
kind of a
erotic
horror
themes.
movie.
Some.
So let's talk about the cast then. Daniel Craig is back as our favorite detective, Benoit Blanc. He's got some long hair this time.
Fresh out of a Fish concert.
You know, once again, Anton, we don't really know much about his personal life, and the film's better for it.
Yep, just the legend of Benoit Blanc grows, though, just because we know he's been on The View, which
That's right.
that's a
That's right.
fantastic thing to know.
It's a great achievement. Great achievement.
There was a mention of, or Mila Kunis's character mentions a thank you to a fellow detective that had put her in touch with him. That was Lakeith Stanfield's character in the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where they were going with that.
That's
I
the
knew they
best
were
thing
trying to
about
link
these
it,
films.
but I was
They're
like,
loosely connected.
Very loosely
I like that.
connected.
They exist in the same universe, but they don't tell the same story.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's the third entry in the Knives Out series, but it's not really a sequel to the second film.
Not at all.
Craig is awesome in this role. This continues to be his best role, and I say that, you know, as someone who's a huge James Bond fan, but this is easily Daniel Craig's best role.
You know, I can agree with that, Pat, because I feel like Daniel Craig at baseline is James Bond. So it's just like
It's what it
Daniel-
feels like now, right?
it's just like Daniel Craig just doing Daniel Craig, and in this movie he's actually acting. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I mean, he's great as Bond, but you can tell he's having more fun with this.
I feel like that's what these people are actors and actresses, right? This is their job, and that's what they love doing. They love embodying a character and delivering that so an audience can experience. That's what
I
they have
don't
the
know.
most fun.
My baseline for Daniel Craig is a South African Jewish cab driver.
Yeah, well, when that went awry, he decided to go join MI6. I love like always connecting movies through different universes that have nothing whatsoever.
You could pitch that game if you wanted to. He's great here. No, he's really great here. I mean, the opening scene when he meets Josh O'Connor's character and he's giving the monologue, it's just classic Blanc stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're doing, what Ryan Johnson is doing with the lighting and stuff, it's very theatrical, but it's very effective. It's great filmmaking.
Can I talk about something with the lighting? And I think ever since I started doing these things with you guys, I have such a respect, and I've been seeing like these movies through a different lens, and I look at it through the lens of like a video game, right? When you play a video game, everything that you were looking at is this box that they have created, and they want you to find everything in that box. Now that I'm looking at movies, I see that same thing, right? This is an experience, you're telling me a story. The cinematography in this movie, like some of those shots, Pat, where the light moves or there's like that eerie, like zoom in, I loved it. I thought it was so unique. I thought it was so different. And the simple fact that they were able to do those shots with the lighting was unbelievable. Like it was one of the first things I wrote down was the cinematography it blew me away.
It's great.
I enjoyed it. I did.
It's very simple, but it's very effective.
It doesn't overcomplicate things.
No.
Too much, but...
No, his character, he gets a lot of good monologues, but then he doesn't do the end reveal monologue. He makes way so that Glenn Close's character can give her confession. But
dramatic ending.
He's not in this film as much as the first two. You know, he doesn't really appear in the film. Very briefly in the intro, he's reading the letter that O'Connor's character writes, but then we basically don't see him for 40 minutes.
You're right, though. He's like a supporting cast in his own movie.
Kind of, yeah. But that's okay, because the first two movies sort of do the same, right? Where Ana de Armas' character becomes the main character of the first one. And then in Glass Onion, it is Janelle Monáe's character, where she's essentially playing two different characters. But Blanc is there the whole time. And in here, you know, he takes a backseat a little bit to Josh O'Connor's character, which is fine. I want to talk about him in a second. I just wanted to give a shout out really quick before I forget. Blanc's hardtop Mercedes SL, classy. Great car. Great car.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, after MI5 and MI6, you go into retirement as a detective. Just saying.
Bond would make a great detective.
Would he, though?
I don't know. What about like Diamonds Are Forever, James Bond? Gallivanting around Las Vegas.
Hopefully. Actually, now that we mentioned, I'm overdue for a Bond. I am.
We're going to have you on for one soon.
I'm overdue for a Bond.
Oh, it's going to be a Brosnan.
I'm in, dude.
Josh O'Connor, really the star of the show here. He is astounding as Father Judd. Incredible performance from him.
I think one of my favorite lines in the movie is when he just walks out of the church, walks into Samson's garage, and just starts beating the crap out of the bag and is like, "Can I use your bag?" And he just goes, "Yeah."
Sure.
I was like, this is priceless.
It's a foreshadow too, because you know Father Judd's a boxer. You don't know much about Samson, but Samson's the one with a boxing bag. So
you're right though. Yeah.
So then when you see Samson just knock out Father Judd, interesting foreshadow.
Yeah, I got it. It makes sense now.
He's a great young actor, O'Connor. Anton, when you finally get to The Crown season 3 and 4, he plays Prince Charles, and he's
very good,
outstanding in that role. He's really good in Challengers. I haven't seen him in anything else. I look forward to seeing him more.
I forgot he was in Challengers, dude.
He's great in that movie.
Yeah, I actually really liked. That was with Zendaya, right? That was
Zendaya. Yes.
Yep. I actually really enjoyed that movie.
Great young actor. I don't think he's going to get Academy Awards attention for this film, but if he did, I'd be supportive of it, because, I mean, he's the heart and soul of this movie. If his performance doesn't work, this film doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's
almost like... Sorry, Anton.
No, go ahead.
It's almost like Benoit ceded the main character role to him, even though it was his movie.
Yeah. Now, that's a little bit different than the first two movies, even though we were talking about Ana de Armas and Janelle Monáe. He has more screen time in this than a lot of his castmates. We already mentioned the scene, you know, where he calls the construction company and he speaks to Bridget Everett's character. It's some of the most sincere acting I've seen in a film in recent times. It's moving. It's tremendous. Yeah. It really is moving. It's moving. That's the right word.
It's like I just remember. I think anyone that knows me knows I'm not a big organized religion guy. But that scene hit me in a way that touched my childhood to the core when we would go to the grocery store every day. Like, we would go somewhere and that would happen, and I would just be like, "Grandpa, like, this lady's just rambling." And then what you would see is just the most, like, it's the way I think religion was meant to work.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He drops everything that he's doing for this woman, to pray with her, to comfort her, to help her.
I'm still getting chills, like, thinking about it now, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's how good that scene was. I loved it. I did. And I honestly, like, they direct you in a way that you thought it was going to be a comedic relief moment. And right out of nowhere, you just get a left hook and you're like, wow, okay, I got it. I'm here.
You're right, because it starts off like that, where he's just like, well, we're kind of in a hurry. Can you just tell us what we need to know? And then it turns into, I would assume, an hour-plus long phone conversation.
Yeah. And nothing else mattered. Actually, as soon as we're done with this, I'm probably, after we put the baby to sleep, I want to rewatch that scene now that we've discussed it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic scene, and it's the total shift too for his character in general, right? Like he really thinks of the importance of like what he does. This whole perspective shifts on just like the whole case. His perspective even changes on like looking at the people that probably are in the conspiracy to frame him no longer as suspects, but just like people that need help. And I think, again, it just all tracks with how the film's momentum and writing really goes. But I just think it's so well done.
Yeah, it wasn't a guy. I don't want to say the incorrect word. Not a priest, right? Was he a priest? Father?
He's a priest. Yeah,
he was a priest.
So it wasn't a guy acting like a priest. He embodied it.
Right.
And that's what you felt. I think is the perfect way to like end it.
Yeah, playing a priest is, especially in this day and age, harder than ever, probably.
It's brutal.
Yeah, the other priests in the film.
Yeah. Unless like a priest fighting like a demon that needs to get exorcised.
That's easy though. Like the demon does the work for the priest, right?
Yeah.
That's how, right. In this one, the priest has to do the work.
So the other priests in this film are murder victim. Monsignor Wicks, played by Josh Brolin, who is incapable of giving a bad performance. He is astounding here. He is hamming it up to no end. It is wonderful.
Yeah, his whole vibe was just so like sup. Like just
dude, that first confession, bro.
Incredible comedy.
I was dying.
Was not expecting that.
No,
so well done.
What does he say in the one part of the confession? He's like, yeah, and then I was doing it in the upside down way that I was telling you about.
It's so effortless. And then Judge just sitting there like,
the look on his face, he's just like, oh no.
But yeah, then you learn it's all for show. It's just a power move.
Yeah.
It's all about his own ego. Yeah, I mean, the three performances in here, besides Craig, O'Connor, Brolin, and Glenn Close, they're all awards worthy, I think.
Definitely.
I don't think this film's going to get any Academy Awards attention from what I can tell, but Glenn Close, I already said kind of my take on her performance earlier. I think her acting is very, very good, but I do think it's a miscast just because of my history with Glenn Close in terms of playing crazy murderers in films.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit more receptive to it in this particular case, but I think we can both agree Glenn Close kills it in the role.
Yeah, she crushed it, man.
She is responsible for the funniest moment in the film.
Oh, when Kaylee Spaney like gets up.
Yeah, and she screams, "It's a miracle!" And she's like, "I can walk, Martha. It just hurts."
I was dying at that scene. That was so funny.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's not American.
Oh, right. I do want to shout out Daryl McCormick, too. He has the other part that really made me crack up when he just goes, I've hammered the race thing, the gender thing, the trans thing, the border thing, the homeless thing, the war thing, the election thing, the abortion thing, the climate thing, the thing about induction stoves, Israel, library books, vaccines, pronouns, AK-47, socialism, BLM, CRT, the CDC, DEI, 5G, everything.
Well read, Pat. Delivered appropriately. That was the best line. I was watching that and I was like, yup.
Oh, we were cracking up watching this. It's so great. His character, yeah, he's a good actor. I like him. I've seen him in a couple other things.
Yeah, well, so I think the last film we covered with him is a few seasons ago when we covered Twisters.
Oh,
right.
Fire Tornadoes.
Which he has a supporting role in that, kind of like here, right?
Yeah, it's just a smaller supporting role.
He's not the bad guy in that, right?
No, he's not.
Is he one of the team members?
One of the team members of like the original team.
Oh, that dies in the beginning?
That dies in the beginning.
Oh, right.
Damn.
Sorry if you haven't seen Twisters, Pete.
Oh, no, I did. I saw it.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't pay for it. I was just waiting for it to come on HBO, and I enjoyed it.
I did pay for it, and I'm now wondering why.
I want to go see Twisters again.
In the
Should see
theater?
Predator,
I think
Badlands.
we're going to struggle with that, buddy.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough, but I
I
gotta
think
find a
it's there.
theater. Just ask. I keep calling AMC every week. Hey, is Twisters on?
Call Movie Phone.
No, the original one, not the new one.
Do you think they're gonna do a 30th anniversary Twister theater release this summer?
Definitely, man. I went to
expect.
I went to AMC the other day, and I would say 50 to 60% of the movies that they're showing are just old movies that we watched, like Saving Private Ryan, right? Things that would look sick in a theater.
Wait, really?
And I saw it at AMC the other day. They were playing like a
Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah.
Pretty
Why
sweet.
didn't I know about this?
I have no idea. I don't know if everyone's doing it. I think what they're doing is locally. But like you can rent, like I
Okay.
looked the other day, you can rent a private theater for like $20, not $20, sorry, for like 20 people, and they can show whatever movie you want.
Right.
Which is cool.
Man, Private Ryan, how was that in the theater?
I didn't see it.
Okay. You didn't see it?
No. I was walking out and I saw
Old.
the poster and I was like, bro, I would absolutely go see Saving Private Ryan, like remastered in Dolby. Absolutely.
I saw it in the theaters at 10 years old, which was probably
Damn. Epic.
I mean, it blew me away.
Yeah.
I mean, even now, I haven't seen anything like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean,
We haven't come close.
No,
Polar Express is in theaters right now.
Let's go.
I'm gonna skip that one. We
May have to edit that
covered
one
that
out.
last year.
Predator Badlands, dude. Let's go. Don't sleep. Don't sleep.
I just saw the third Avatar the other day.
It was the same thing.
It sucked. I just
Same
don't like
movie?
those movies. It's
Bro, I the day after it came out, I got a CNBC notification from CNBC and Bloomberg, and it was like Avatar: Fire and Ash disappoints at box office, only 88 million, and I was like, damn, Cameron, you gotta give this up, dude.
you know how the second one ends with like them trying to stop a whale hunt, and there's like
Very
a
strange.
giant
Yes,
battle.
yeah.
That's how this movie ends. There's a bigger whale hunt that they need to stop.
Wait, did they stop the first whale hunt?
They did, but there's a bigger one now that they need to stop as well.
But does it actually end, or is there more to the movie? Like, is there going to be another one?
Well, nobody dies in the third one, so there will be another one.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing changes at
Oh
all.
boy, why do I sense a Disney spin-off coming? Direct to Disney Plus release.
I don't think Cameron will direct the next one because he kind of hinted, he's like, I have more stories to tell.
I believe that, man, because this thing's been going on for
A while.
right. Like this is-
2009 was the first one.
It's too
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
You
even when
gotta
I saw
hope
the
he's gonna
second
do
one-
an anime.
I completely forgot there was another Avatar movie, and I was like, oh yeah, that was like
Yeah.
19. So let's wrap it up. Let's go back again. And we saw it, and I was like, man, this is like the same thing. And I was like, this is a lot cooler when it was the first time you saw it.
Anton, I thought about what you said to me on the phone the other day about how you're like, I don't want to watch the new one. And
Yeah.
I have taken that to heart and I have erased it from our schedule for next year. I don't want to cover it.
Wow,
don't.
I haven't even seen it.
Really,
And, like
really
you texted
don't.
me, Pat, and I was like, I literally have no interest in watching it, but I'll watch it when it comes on TV.
It's 3 hours and 20 minutes.
It's still long too. Oh god, he hasn't learned
Longer
his lesson.
than the second one.
It's like Lord of the Rings, but worse.
Do you remember
If you're-
Jungle Book Boy in the second one? How much he sucked?
Yes.
So they give him a bigger role in this one. He has a bigger role with more lines.
And the dialogue apparently is just as bad as the second one.
Worse.
More lines.
Yeah. He calls someone a butthole at one point. I'm not kidding.
Oh, God.
It's
You know what?
awful.
Should I go pay for it? I'm gonna pay
No.
for it.
I
No, I
don't.
can't
It's
support it.
not.
Don't do, man. Don't do
Do you
it.
won't.
have a
I
kid?
won't.
Like, do you have 4 hours to go to the theater at this point?
No, dude, I don't.
No.
It's taken. We watch episodes in like stints. Like we have like if we watch a show, we find like a dead point to move on because we're like, okay, I can't stay asleep. There's no way. I'm not going to theater for 4 hours to watch Blue Monkeys.
No. All right.
But
Back
one
to
of the new Navi is pretty hot.
Oh, God,
if
we're
you're
going
into
here
that
again.
thing.
Would this be considered erotic horror?
I'm sure there's a subreddit for you for that.
There is definitely a subreddit for you.
So back to this Knives Out movie, the cast. One of the things I disliked about this one, or not disliked, or liked less than the first two, this is a worse use of the supporting cast.
Did you feel like there was too much firepower?
Yeah, they have a lot less to do.
Yeah, it's. I feel like they could have trimmed 2 to 3 actors, and it still would have delivered a good movie. But when I saw the lineup, I was like, and when you said 200 million, I was like, probably went to the cast.
Well, I didn't take that with a grain of
I
salt.
know there's no way to track it, but I was
Yeah,
like, if that is true, it's your talent, right? It's not special effects.
I mean, Jeremy Renner, who's one of the murderers in this film, what would you say he has, a dozen lines?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he very
Like total
few.
screen time? Not much.
Not much.
It uses the cast very differently. Like I mentioned before, it doesn't present them all as like capable suspects for like the audience. It's very clear which ones are more involved than others. But beyond just the main suspects of the congregation, I do want to give a big shout out to like Jeffrey Wright, who played like the cardinal in the film.
Oh, you mean the James Bond Felix Leiter reunion?
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as he got on screen, I was like, Felix. My wife goes, Felix.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
I was like,
he's an
Felix.
awesome actor. I wish he was in the movie more, but
Yep, same. I was very saddened to see that he only had like 10 minutes at the beginning of the movie and he never came back until the end.
Kaylee Spaney and Andrew Scott in particular, you could have cut him from this film.
They didn't need to be there.
They didn't do much.
Yeah, they didn't need to be there. Do you like? I feel like. Okay, I'm going to try to explain this, and now that we have a visual, I think it's helpful. Instead of using like A actors and B actors, I feel like Rian Johnson picked all A actors to level the playing field. So as soon as you watch the movie, you're already dealing with all A actors. So, oh God, I'm butchering this. Never mind, just cut it out.
No, I know what you mean. I think that was Rian Johnson's point. He loads these films so that with so many A-listers so that anyone could be the killer, right?
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say, except in this one he tipped his hat because he had an A+ in there.
Yeah, but then throwing in Jeremy Renner, who it's a weird utilization of that character.
It was strange.
Of his acting.
I didn't get a line count, but like I really do think it might be like a dozen lines. He just doesn't say much and doesn't have much to do in the film.
Yeah, it really wasn't. It's just like you see him like plodding along. He's dealing with the fact his wife left him and then murder.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't check my updates on the Jeremy Renner app to see like his thoughts on it, but I'll have to go back to it.
It's probably a subreddit for that.
You guys heard about that? Yo, you haven't heard about this? For like 3 years, he had his own app that he developed that he would update about his life. Think like Facebook and Instagram, but like he literally just set it up for Jeremy Renner things, and he updated it himself.
That's so sick.
Yeah,
it's like having your own face. That's like having your own Facebook.
That's literally what it was.
Was it popular?
No, and it got immensely trolled.
Right,
like people were trolling it so badly.
I would imagine so. That's ridiculous.
It's like every day is Jeremy Renner Day.
Was it popular? No.
Yeah.
So she said there was one subscriber.
It was popular amongst all the trolls that flooded that app.
This film is a much less fun version of Glass Onion for me. Like Glass Onion did a much better job of using its cast. Like the supporting cast was used in a much more entertaining way. Same thing with the first film. You know, I'm going to single them out, but like Andrew Scott, take your bad American accent and go back to England. You don't need to be in this film. Kaylee Spaney didn't need to be in this film. Even Kerry Washington didn't have anything to do here.
Strange. I don't know. And the role that they cast her in was very not Kerry Washington.
No.
It's a shame.
Very strange.
Her whole relationship with her adopted son and how that carries out is super weird. Adopted brother.
Yeah.
But equally confusing, Anton, because she keeps mentioning how she raised him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very strange. Strange dynamic.
I did enjoy how much she rediscovered smoking, though. That was kind of funny. She just started smoking cigarettes again.
Yeah.
That's how it works, right?
She was really enjoying it. But you are right. And then Mila Kunis,
didn't need to be there.
Didn't do much.
No.
Didn't need to be there.
No.
Didn't add anything to the film.
But it was Mila Kunis, which is very recognizable.
That's right. Literally, I was like, anywhere you see her, you're like, oh, Mila Kunis.
Yeah, all right. We can. Yeah, so we just finished talking about Kerry Washington, and we're back.
Okay, and we're back. Kerry Washington's character doesn't have a lot to do. Mila Kunis, kind of a thankless role as the sheriff.
Yeah. Big name for the film.
Yeah.
Definitely A level, I think, right?
Yeah.
A-.
B+.
All right, that's fair.
And then Joseph Gordon-Levitt is credited in this film as the voice of one of the baseball announcers.
He's been in each one. He's been in each one.
Wait, really?
He's the voice of the gong in Glass Onion.
I would love to know the connection.
Going gong on the island. Yeah, that's him.
He has the fun distinction of having been in each of Rian Johnson's films.
I would love to know that connection of like how they know, like how that happened.
Looper.
That's why?
Yeah, Rian Johnson directed Looper.
And they became like just very close, and now he's had a role in every film. Pretty small role sometimes.
We haven't talked about Rian Johnson yet, really. I mean, are we fans of his other than these movies?
Yeah, I think so. I think, wait, did you say other than these movies?
Yeah, I mean, all of us obviously like the Knives Out movies, but what about his other work? What do we think?
A bit of a mixed bag.
So when we were watching this, I accidentally told my wife that this was the guy that did the Office.
Oh,
why?
Yeah.
Why?
I was like, oh, Rian Johnson, that's the guy that does The Office. It's not.
It's really
No,
not.
no.
It's not.
No, I think it's a mixed bag for like he had a what was it?
Oh, he did Rogue One.
He didn't know he did The Last Jedi.
Oh, he got credit for it. I haven't seen like any of his movies.
And I was not a fan of The Last Jedi.
No,
Didn't see it. Couldn't tell you.
you're doing yourself a favor.
My understanding is that yes, I am. I thought Looper was okay.
Enjoyed it.
Okay.
I was impressed with Brick, but it's not like my favorite.
No, this is clearly his best work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think so. And I mean, it's come in the last few years, right? Last Jedi, I'm looking at it now, 2017. And things have only went up there from him. I mean, things have only improved.
I mean, he's
starting with Knives Out in 2019.
he's stuck to the Knives Out series, and so far it's been working pretty good for him.
It works.
I have nothing else in the notes.
Do we like it? See if I have anything else to add.
Well, Pete, you're the guest. You can go first if you want.
I will actually.
All right.
I'll start with the grade and I'll explain it why. I'll give it a B minus. I will. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was entertaining. I understand the criticism around length, but I watched it in 2 pieces, so I felt like it was actually appropriately paced, and I did feel the reveal was okay, but slightly longer. I enjoyed the cast. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the murder. I also think you could have just kind of you're in a forest in Albany. If you wanted to kill the guy, you could have just gotten rid of him very easily. Overall, I enjoyed it. The cinematography thing was enormous for me because it's some of the most unique shots I've ever seen in a movie. Solid B minus. Not B minus. Sorry, B plus.
B plus. Oh.
B plus. Yeah, I was
Whoa.
originally going to give it an A
Okay.
minus. I
Okay.
meant B plus. I'm so sorry.
All right then. No,
All right.
that's okay.
Okay.
Don't,
Okay.
no need to apologize. You can rate that whatever you want, sir.
Appreciate that. I do.
I can go next.
Okay.
This is a really interesting distinction in that as a film, I do see its flaws. I think that it is a lesser quality film than Glass Onion. But in terms of the themes and the enjoyment factor, personal enjoyment factor through the roof. Stocks are at the all-time high for Anton's enjoyment factor with this film. Part of it being the whole Catholic bias, but also just the different direction it took from the first 2 films. And I actually don't mind the serious tone. I think that while a few things are a bit more predictable, I think with any mystery film, the twists and the turns and trying to one up the previous installment is going to be impossible to top every time. But I think that it's sometimes just, for me, I really appreciate the quality in this film of the very solid acting core of its leads and focusing less on trying to trick the audience into what the actual reveal for the mystery is, but more so just the, while rather long, unravel. I think a very detailed and careful and caring unraveling of the mystery. I think that it's of lesser quality than Glass Onion, but I still think very highly of the film overall. It as part of the Knives Out series, really impressive. You have 3 very connected, but I think very different films, and within that, I'm just impressed. You don't always get a strong installment with each film in a series, so I think things are looking very promising for Rian Johnson in the future, and with, I'm sure, more installments of Knives Out. So my assessment here for the film, I give it a B plus, right on there with Pete, and just shouts out Glenn Close. You're still killing it.
Let's go, Cruella.
There's a lot of stuff here that I like about a sequel. It's the same template as the first 2, but with a different setting, a different twist. I think the cast is very good on paper, and there are some truly great performances here. There's some really funny moments. The mystery itself is the least interesting of the 3 movies. Nonetheless, I do think it is a compelling murder mystery. I don't want to speak too ill of this because although I didn't enjoy this nearly as much as the first 2, I think this is a very good film, and I enjoyed rewatching it a bunch of times in the past few weeks. On the negative, I already said my thoughts on the mystery. It's just not as interesting to me. It is a little slow in parts. The big problem I have with it compared to the first 2 is I just don't think it uses its supporting cast nearly as well. It is not nearly as much fun as the first 2. Now, I don't mind the different tone, but if you're going to cast all these A-list actors in it, which is what I've come to expect from a Knives Out film, use them. Use them correctly. Use them properly. Use them enough. Rian Johnson didn't do that here. We got some all-star performances out of the leads. Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, of course, Daniel Craig. The rest of the cast, I think, gets shortchanged, and I felt disappointed by that. Nonetheless, I really enjoyed this film. I think it is a worthy entry in what is, I hope, becomes a lengthy series. I hope Rian Johnson makes more of these. I could watch as many of these as he wants to make. He can do what he wants at this point. He's earned my trust with this. Even though I didn't like this as much as the first two, I still really liked it. Maybe I've sounded harsh on this film throughout this recording, but I'm going to give it a B. I think it's very good. I just don't think it's as outstanding as the first two, which are really some of my favorite films from the last few years. But yeah, B for me. I liked it.
Reasonable.
And here we are.
Here we are. That's it for Wake Up Dead Man. Oh, and one final thought. They didn't play the U2 song at the end. They played some other Tom Waits song, which means nothing. But that's it for Wake Up Dead Man. I have nothing else to say. Pete, great having you back.
I'm happy to be back, man. I am. I had a lot of fun. I forgot how much fun these were. I'm glad to be back, dude. I am. I'm excited for the next Bond. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Oh, Bond.
Yeah,
Bond.
and we are so excited to have you back soon.
Am I like the local Bond expert?
No, you're the local erotic thriller guy.
Yes.
Right.
Daniel Craig.
I would say you're definitely not a Bond expert because you haven't seen a lot of them.
No, that's why I enjoy it, because every time it's a fresh series.
You're a willing
also,
student.
I appreciate it. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I can do Tomorrow Never Dies. I just need to make sure of the time, because I may have to do it at 5 instead of 4.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But I'm absolutely down to do it. It's awesome.
TND. You've seen that one before?
Yeah, I've seen all the Brosnan ones. I've seen all the Brosnan ones, all the Daniel Craig ones. But anything prior to Brosnan, no. Until you guys had me watch them.
Right. Well, we'll do the Tomorrow Never Dies recording soon. That is it for this edition of Why Wasn't It Better? You know, as always, Anton, we want to thank our listeners for listening.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone is new to the podcast, please follow us. Please subscribe to us. We encourage you to leave comments wherever you're watching or listening. We are on all the major social media platforms. And if you really like what you're doing and you want to throw a few bucks our way, we do have a Patreon. Links to all of those mentioned are in the description. Thanks for listening and see you next time.